Hello, my crafty friends. Well, today we are going to create this adorable little snowman gift box. And this gift box can be used to package up your handmade cards or any other small items that you want to give this holiday season. Hi, it's Lynn Dunn from Stamptastic Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. In this episode of Stamptastic TV, we are going to take a gift box idea, which I actually shared with you before, and we're just going to modify it a little bit to turn it into a cute little snowman. Now, you can really use any supplies you have on hand to create your little snowman. I used some of the dies from the Christmas Greenery die set from Stampin Up. So I just used those to create the little holly. I also used some of the stitched shapes dies just to create the little circles. But again, you can use whatever you have on hand to decorate your gift box. So this is the original gift box that I shared in one of my live streams. So I'll link to it in the description with this video. So basically, we're just going to create this same box that I created when I shared this gift box idea with you. The only difference between these two gift boxes is this little addition here at the top, this little top hat for the snowman. Otherwise, the gift box is created the exact same way. So let me show you how to make it. Okay, so first let's talk about how to create the base of this gift box. So as I shared, it's the same as what I created before. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to put together the base, and then I'll show you how to create the top hat for the snowman. So you're going to start with a 10 by 12 inch piece of cardstock. And then you're going to put the 12-inch side at the top, and you're going to score in 5 inches on each side. Then you're going to turn your cardstock to the 10-inch side, and you're going to score in 2 inches on each side. So basically, this is what you will end up with. And then you want to just cut the little tabs. These are the little tabs for the box. So you just want to cut directly on the score line. So you'll start at the end here, just cut up to this score line to create these two little tabs. All right, so once you have done all the scoring and you created these little tabs, the box basically just goes together like this. The tabs come in and they wrap around and adhere to one side of the box. Then you just bring up this other side and you adhere these two large sides together. So it's really very simple to put this box together. Your little tabs will be on the inside. But before we do that, what I want to do is I want to decorate my snowman. So since my box is equal on both sides, it really doesn't matter which of these sides you use. Just pick one, and that will be the front of the box. So that is where we want to do all our decorating for the snowman. Now the lid that will go on this box has a 1-inch rim. So I like to just put a 1-inch wide piece of cardstock or whatever you want to put at the top, just so that I stay underneath that rim when I do my decorating. So the first thing I did is I just drew on a mouth for the snowman, and I just used a Sharpie. You can use whatever you want to use, and I just kind of made a squiggly line all the way across, and then I just added my little part to the mouth. So you can use a Sharpie, you can use any kind of marker that you have on hand. The next thing I did is just create the eyes for the snowman. So these are the eyes, and I used a little bit of craft ink to add this little white spot on there. I die cut these eyes from a piece of black cardstock using the Stylish Shapes dies. And then I just cut a little nose out of a piece of pumpkin pie cardstock. I just cut a little triangular shape, and I actually embossed this little nose with the embossing folder that comes with the Sunrise Sailing Bundle. So these are actually little waves on there. I just wanted to add a little bit of texture. So that's what our snowman is going to look like. So we can go ahead and adhere these pieces. So I put a couple dimensionals on the nose, and we'll just add that right about here. So I've added the dimensionals on the back of these little eyes, and we'll just kind of scoot these together here on the front. And then I used a little bit of Pretty in Pink ink along with just a little sponge dauber. And we'll just grab a scrap piece of paper here. And what I want to do is just add a little bit of color to the cheeks. So let's go ahead and do that right about here. And we'll go right over here. So let's go ahead and put this box together. So basically what you want to do is you just want to add some glue to these little tabs here. And we're going to glue this to the back first. So we'll just flip this over. And we're going to adhere this directly to this back piece. And then we'll do the same on this side. We'll just add some glue to this little tab. And then we'll adhere it to this side of the box. And then we're going to add some glue on each of these sides. So let's do one at a time. We'll add this one first. And this is just going to come up and it's just going to wrap around that other piece. So we will add that. All right, and then let's go on this side and we will add some glue to this little flap. And we'll push it over onto this one. All right, so we have the base of our box. So this box is actually 6 inches across, it's 5 inches down, and it's 2 inches wide. So you got 2 inches inside the box. So it'll fit some pretty good size gifts for this holiday season. All right, so now let's create the top for the box. So basically this is a 4 1/8 by 8 inch piece of cardstock. So I'm using black cardstock, and you're just gonna score in 1 inch all the way around. So each side is gonna get 1 inch, 1 inch, and then you'll turn it and do 1 inch and 1 inch. So that's why we laid that 1 inch piece on top of this base of the box, so that my face of the snowman would be underneath that 1 inch piece. So we're just going to adhere this together. You're going to just basically create 2 little tabs on each side of this piece. We're just going to add some glue to these little tabs and adhere it directly to this piece in the middle. So this will create the lid for our box. And then we're going to do the same on this side. We'll adhere both of these. All right, so that is what your lid will look like, and basically it's just going to go right over the top of this box. But now we need to create that extension so that it looks like a little top hat. So I'm going to show you how to do that next. All right, to create that top hat extension, you're going to need 2 pieces of cardstock that are going to be cut and scored the exact same way. So each piece is 6 1/2 by 8 1/4 inches. And so when you have your 6 1/2 inch side at the top, you're going to score down 2 1/4 inches on each side. Then you're going to turn it to the 8 1/4 inch side, and you're just going to score in 1 1/2 inches on each side. You're basically going to have a center section that is the exact same size as the top of the box. So this is 2 inches wide. And then you're just going to create your little tabs on each side. So you can see I have my little tabs here. And we're going to start by adhering one of these together. So let's go ahead and do that. These little tabs, instead of being tucked inside, are actually going to be on the outside. So this time what we're going to do is we're going to tuck these tabs in and bring this little half tab over. And you'll see why we're doing that in a minute. So we're going to add some glue And we're gonna bring these in like this. So let's add a little bit more glue here. Let's bring those two in and adhere them. And then this one is gonna this one's gonna come up. So it should look like that. And then we'll do the same thing on this side. So we'll fold that tab back. We can adhere these two first. Let's put some glue on here. And then we'll put some glue on here and bring that up. So you're basically just creating like a half a box. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this one and go directly over the top of this. All right, so what I like to do is put this box upside down, and then we're just gonna adhere everything around it. So don't create this box separately and then try to fit them together. Put this box in the middle, and then we'll create this other one around it. So the first thing we're gonna do is just wrap these end pieces around it. So let's add some glue to all of this. So we're gonna bring this around. Okay. So then once you have that side done, then you're gonna do the same thing on this side. You're gonna bring this around. So we're gonna add glue to this entire piece. And we'll wrap that around. So it does take a little bit of time to let the glue set up. So you can use liquid glue or you can use the tear and tape, whichever you prefer. I like to use liquid glue because it gives me a little bit more wiggle room when I'm putting this together, but you could certainly use tear and tape or any other adhesive that you have. All right, so that is our box. And now it's just a matter of bringing these over. And we're just gonna fold these over. And then we'll do the same with this one. So you're basically just creating an empty box. This is actually what you're creating. So I'm going to add a piece of glimmer paper. So this glimmer paper is 3/4 inches wide and it's 9 1/4 inches long. And I scored it at 2 inches and at 7 1/4 inches. So basically when we glue it on, it'll just wrap around the front and it'll wrap around the sides. All right, so that is what your glimmer paper will look like. And then on the back, I just have a 3/4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of glimmer paper that we'll just add to the back and decorate the whole entire box. All right, so that is basically our little top for our box. So let's go ahead and add this to the rest of our snowman box. All right, so now we have this little false box that we built for the top of our snowman box. So you're just gonna take the lid and lay it on its side, and we're just going to actually just kind of eyeball this. I have some tear and tape on the bottom here, and we are just gonna push this so that it is lined up on the top of this box. So I like to just put it on the side like that so that I can kind of get this straight on the top of the box. And so that is what our little hat will look like. And then this goes on the top of our box, and then we have this cute little snowman box. Isn't he cute? So let's just actually add a couple of decorations to this. All right, so I have a couple little pieces of holly that I just die cut using that Christmas Greeneries die. So we're just gonna pop these up. Put a couple dimensionals on there. We'll just pop them up on this little hat. And then I die cut out some little holly berries. And for those, we're just gonna use a couple glue dots just to put these on. And then we'll just add this last one. And there, that's it. So then you can just put this on top of your box and you just have a really cute little gift box for this holiday season. Okay, so there you go. Now you know how to create the Snowman gift box. And of course, you can just create a regular gift box without the snowman hat to package up your handmade cards or use it however you wish during this holiday season. And if you enjoyed this gift box idea, feel free to download the printable tutorial. You can find the link in the description below this video. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know by liking it and sharing it with your friends. And leave me a comment below to let me know what you enjoyed most about the video and the gift box shared today. Have a fun and creative day, my friends. Take care.